Mrs. Johnston here, and it is time for knowledge, science, and social studies today. We are on Unit 8, Seasons and Weather, and we are on Lesson 5. Let's review what we have already learned. We have learned that different parts of the earth experience different types of weather. We have also identified the proper sequence of the 4 seasons of the year and that they are distinctly experienced in the United States. So far, we have learned about 3 of the 4 seasons: winter, spring, and summer. Let's see if you can answer some of my questions. What are some of the characteristics of summer? Did you remember that summer is usually hot and takes place in June, July, and August in the United States? What do people wear in the summer? In most places, people wear light clothing like shorts and flip-flops in the summer. What activities do you do during the summer? Did you say go swimming, wear shorts and a tank top, celebrate holidays like the 4th of July? How are spring and summer similar? Did you say that they are similar in that spring and summer are both 3 months long and they are the warmest seasons? So, how are they different? Did you say they are different because the months are not the same and that there are times in the spring when it's cooler than it is in the summer? So you would wear cooler clothing. How are spring and summer different from winter? Did you know that winter is colder than spring and summer, and that plants typically don't bloom in the winter? Today's read aloud is called Autumn. Before we begin, let's take a look at a calendar again. Remember, there are 12 months in a year, and today's calendar month is December at the time of this recording. In a month, there are 7 days in a week. Those days of the week are Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Each day in the month is given a number. So today, the day of this recording, today is Monday, December 14th. Name the 4 seasons in order, starting with the coldest one. Did you say winter, spring, summer, and autumn in that order. In the United States, when does autumn occur? Autumn occurs in the months of September, October, and November. In Australia, or the Southern Hemisphere, what season occurs in December? So, in the Southern Hemisphere, summer occurs in December. In the United States, which season comes before autumn? Summer comes before autumn. In the United States, which season comes after autumn? Did you say winter comes after autumn? Today's main topic or main idea is autumn. Listen to find out about how the weather changes from summer to autumn. Listen carefully for details about the activities people do during autumn. Dear kindergartners, eventually the warm weather of summer ends and autumn begins. Kids are back in school in autumn. Autumn officially starts the middle of September and includes the months of October and November. By autumn, the air becomes cooler than it was during the scorching or very hot summer months. It might still feel warm on some early autumn days, but there's a slight chill or cold sensation in the air at night. And by the end of autumn, it can be really cold during the day and at night. As autumn progresses or moves forward, the days get shorter and shorter. The sun rises just a little bit later and sets just a little bit earlier each day. By October in Washington, D.C., many of the trees' leaves don't look so green anymore. During autumn, most of the leaves on the trees turn from green to bright yellow, orange, red, or brown. It's so beautiful. Last autumn, my family took a trip to the mountains near Washington, D.C. to enjoy the colors. The air was so cool and crisp, and we had a great time. Look at this picture from our trip. The forests, as far as the eye can see, are bright with fiery colors. Within a few weeks after the leaves of many trees turn different colors, deciduous trees begin to shed or lose their leaves. That's why another name for autumn is fall, because autumn is when the leaves of deciduous trees fall to the ground. Remember that evergreen trees stay green all year round, while deciduous trees lose their leaves in the autumn. The grass is soon covered with a blanket of brown leaves. Do the leaves change color and fall off the trees where you live? They do where Mrs. Johnston lives. If they do, you can do the same things the kids in my neighborhood do. We rake up all the leaves into one enormous pile and then jump in it just for fun. The leaves make a soft, crunchy cushion. If you travel for a few hours outside Washington, D.C., you will start to see farms. Autumn means harvest time for farmers. Harvest time is when farmers gather their crops. It's hard work being a farmer. All summer farmers have been caring for their plants while they grow, watering them and making sure the weeds and bugs of summer do not ruin them. Autumn is the time to gather the fruits and vegetables in the fields. When they've harvested their crops, the farmers all get together for a really fun event, the county fair. My family goes every year to the nearest county fair, and it is incredible. The farmers all bring their best vegetables and animals to show off how good they are at growing vegetables and raising farm animals. I took this picture of the pumpkins at last year's county fair. The fair's judges had already come by and judged them. Which pumpkins do you think the judges liked best? Did you say the ones with ribbons on them? How do you know? Mrs. Johnston, when she looks very closely, I see that the blue says first place and the red says second place, where some of the other tags don't have numbers or a place value of them, the pumpkins winning anything. I wouldn't get so excited about the fair if it were only about vegetables. There are lots of fun rides and all kinds of foods, from cotton candy to corn dogs. Some people also take their chances playing games to win stuffed animals. Once, I won a gigantic teddy bear. By early November, the air outside gets chilly in Washington, D.C. Sometimes the skies are clear and sunny, while other days are gray and cloudy. The wind blows more than it did during the summer. The autumn winds sends dry, crunchy leaves whirling and twirling through the streets and parks, and whispers that winter is coming soon. In late November, as the autumn season is gradually winding to a close, comes one of the most important holidays in the United States, Thanksgiving Day. On this day, people in the United States like to gather with their families and friends. In my family, my grandparents and cousins and uncles and aunts from all over travel to have Thanksgiving dinner together. I always look forward to the grand feast of turkey, stuffing, potatoes, rolls, and cranberry sauce, with pumpkin pie for dessert. Then my cousins and I play football in the yard. Thanksgiving is very close to the end of autumn in Washington, D.C. By that time, the trees are bare, the leaves are raked, and the air starts to feel very cold, especially at night. Once the trees look like this, you know that autumn is nearing an end and that it will soon be winter. We are once again at the beginning of the cycle of the seasons. We've got winter, spring, summer, and autumn or fall. Now we've talked about every season and their different characteristics. What will I tell you about next? You'll just have to wait and see. Your friend, Annie. What is the main topic or main idea of today's lesson? Did you respond with the main topic of today's lesson is autumn? Can you name the months of autumn? Did you remember the months of autumn are September, October, and November? What changes do you notice as summer progresses to autumn? As summer progresses to autumn, the weather becomes cooler. Days are shorter, and trees change color and shed their leaves. Name a holiday that takes place during the autumn season. Did you remember Thanksgiving is a holiday that takes place in the autumn season? But one holiday that we didn't talk about in our story is Halloween. Halloween also takes place in autumn. Thank you for joining me in our science, social studies, and knowledge lesson today on the main idea of autumn. And I look forward to seeing and hearing from you tomorrow.